Guys, what's going on? Today I have a really special deck that I want to share with you guys, and this is the FlooWanDeReeZe deck profile. And this deck focuses pretty much on normal summoning. You're not going to do like special summoning, it's more about normal summoning. And eventually you're going to focus on normal summoning powerful boss monster like Miss Valley Apex, Ryzen, FlooWanDeReeZe Null, and Empen. So we have boss monsters in the main deck, and these guys will help you win the duels. This is pretty much a shifter deck, so we're gonna be using banishment cards such as Dimensional Shifter, Dimensional Fissure, and Macrocosmos. So let's begin. So first of all, we're going to run Triple Ravina. This card is the main summoner of the deck and will also help you keep going with the normal summoning. So basically, with Ravina, you're gonna add Eagle, or you're gonna add the other two FlooWanDeReeZe. And with Eagle, you're gonna normal summon Eagle, and you're gonna add either Emperor if you don't have it in the hand, or Snore, or Avian, or the Monarch. Uh, with String, you're going to, it says target one card in the graveyard. So basically, you're going to banish cards from your opponent's graveyard, or you're going to banish your own FlooWanDeReeZe cards so you can add it back to your hand using Toucan. So we're gonna be running Triple Eagle, one String, and one Toucan. And Toucan will add you back the FlooWanDeReeZe cards that are banished. That way you can continue the duel. We're gonna be running the staple cards such as Ash Blossom. We're gonna be running two cards. Dimensional Shifter, one of the main cards in this deck. One Apex Avian. Apex Avian is pretty much the Omni Negate boss monster in the deck. So you normal summon this guy, and you can negate any card your opponent activates during that turn. We're gonna be running one Monarch. This guy will help you get rid of cards on the field and also in the graveyard of your opponents. Snore will give you 3 extra normal summons. He also has the ability of changing all monsters on the field that your opponent controls in defense position as a quick effect. And then we have Empen. Empen is the stunner. He stuns your opponent's monsters from activating their effects. And he also has a quick effect that when it is attack, or your opponent attacks Empen, he will reduce by banishing one card from your hand. You can reduce the monsters to 0, and you can do that as a quick effect. Your opponent will lose the monster if the attack goes through. He also has another ability that when unsummoned, he will add you one of the spell cards, such as FlooWanDeReeZe, any FlooWanDeReeZe cards basically. And that's it for the monsters. Let's move on with the spells. So they lack, the one problem that FlooWanDeReeZe has, they lack on power destruction. So we're gonna be running one Raigeki. We're gonna be running one Gore Sarcophagus. So basically, if I open up with a Ravina, or I open up with Eagle, I either banish Ravina or Eagle, and I can add it back to the hand. We're gonna be having 2 double summons. I notice it when people play FlooWanDeReeZe, they don't run this card, and they are moments in which one weakness that this deck has is this deck is extremely weak against hand traps. So if Ash gets into Ravina, you're not gonna be able to keep normal summoning. So having double summon in your hand can give you an extra normal summon, so you can continue the normal summoning with Eagle, String, and Toucan. I was thinking of running 3, but I was opening up a lot with the card. So I decided to reduce it to 2, and it's been working out a lot for me. I've been winning a lot of duels with this deck. 2 double summon is a must in this deck. 1 part of duality for searching. Part of extravagance is a must as well. You need to get to Ravina and Ego as quick as possible. Another thing that another weakness of this deck is that it lacks consistency. But if you get the right hands, and you can pretty much win duels if you get the right hands. We're gonna be running triple Dark Ruler. I was thinking of running 2, but there were moments that I couldn't board break, so I decided to keep it at 3. Sometimes I do get it a lot in the hand, but you can use it for banishment, for impen, and trust me, you really need this card in this deck so you can push through the duels. It's up to you guys. Maybe you want to run 2, but I do recommend to run Dark Ruler in this deck for real. So we're gonna be running 1 Lightning Storm. This card will help you destroy monsters on the field and also spells and traps. Now keep in mind, you have to control no cards to activate this effect, this spell card. We're gonna be running 1 Power of Prosperity to search as well. We are running a lot of extra deck cards here, and they are useful. I know some people don't like to. They'll be putting random cards in the extra deck. I've seen decks like that, and they barely use the extra deck. And it is true, you barely use the extra deck on this deck with this deck, but we're going to use the extra deck on this on my build. And we're gonna go each one by one, and I'm going to explain to you what they do. Okay, so we're running the FlooWanDeReeZe and the Magnificent Map. So FlooWanDeReeZe, they have a pretty interesting story. So these are birds that they travel around the world, and you have the messengers as well. So all of them, they travel around the world delivering messages and stuff like that. And this is them right here. This is their map. So basically what they do is they travel different countries delivering messages and stuff, and they go into all these crazy adventures. That's how that's what the story is about this deck, and they're pretty nice. It's all about birds. All right, so yes, 1 FlooWanDeReeZe map. You can only run 1. It's limited to 1. We're gonna be running 2 double dimensional fissure. So this card will banish all monsters going to the from the graveyard. They'll go banish to the banishing zone. We're gonna be running triple FlooWanDeReeZe and the Unexplored Winds. Why? I've seen people running only 1 or 2. You definitely need to run 3, because this card will help you recycle back your boss monsters from the hand, in case you opened up with them. And once you do that, you might have the chance of getting Ravina or England to the hand, and by shuffling them. This card also has another ability that you can tribute cards your opponent control, and when I mean cards, I mean back row cards and also cards in the main monster zone. So this card is a must. You can tribute. So it says for a tribute of a monsters that require 2 tributes, you can use 1 card on the field from your opponent. It doesn't matter what card it is. You pick it and you tribute 1 of your own monsters, and you can go for Apex Avian, you can go for Snow or Impen, or even the Monarch. And that's pretty good, because you can get rid of powerful cards your opponent might have on the field that is traveling you. We're gonna be running the main spell card here, and this is the FlooWanDeReeZe and the Advent of Avenger. It's a beautiful card. So right here you see the main card of the deck. This guy right here. He is the main protagonist, and he's the one that does the traveling around the world. This is his friend right here, so they delivering a message. We don't know exactly what it is. I believe he was asking for some items, so they deliver it to this big bird here in the middle of I believe it's the Antarctica, but it's freezing there. So they went there and they deliver it, and so the spell card adds you a FlooWanDeReeZe card, monster, or a field spell. You can add the field spell or a FlooWanDeReeZe monster to the hand, pretty much. And this card will banish a. Let's say you open up with England, you banish England, and then with adventure, advent of adventure, you can add Ravina to the hand and continue the searching and the normal summon. We're gonna be running 2 infinite imperms, the staple cards. These are cards that we always run in every deck that you can think of. There are some decks, some combinations that don't really need all these hand traps, but most decks they do need some defense, some soft sword of some sort. So yeah, we definitely need these staple cards. We're gonna be running 2 FlooWanDeReeZe in the Dreaming Town. I was thinking of running 3, but since I have normal double summon, I don't really need it, to be honest. I don't. I've been winning a lot of duels with it. I was thinking of running 3, but I just don't. I don't have the space for it. I want to keep the deck 42. That way, if that way it's more consistent. But yeah, definitely you need at least 2 copies or 3 of this. Down the line, if I see that I need 3, I'll put the third copy. But trust me, so far I've been winning a lot of duels with the deck, and I only need 2 for now. And we're gonna be running 2 Macrocosmos. The main reason why I want to run this card here, if you go first and you play against, let's say Purely's, the decks, Labyrinth, all those trap decks, you definitely need a way to get rid of them. And trust me, Macrocosmos is also an instant win because most of the decks, they need the graveyard, and yep, you definitely gonna need this card. Alright, so we're gonna go for the extra deck, and like I said, this extra deck here, you will need the extra deck for sure. So we're gonna be running 2 Lirulik. So Lirulik will help you push through an attack, and she doesn't get destroyed by battle or card effect. Yeah, she cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect, and you take no damage. So basically, you're gonna be running her to go into Magician, and from Magician, you're gonna go into Seals, so you can clear the board with Seals. I'm going to run 2 Seals in the future. The new ban list is coming, so we are gonna be allowed to run 2 Seals. So I'm definitely gonna open some space for the second Seals, and go for it. Okay, so we're gonna be running 1 Linkuriboh. You can use Linkuriboh for defense, and you have a bunch of normal level 1 monsters here. We're gonna be running 1 Anima. Anima will help you steal monsters if your opponent special summon it into his column, and you can push through. We're gonna be running 1 Cerberus for monsters destruction, Phoenix for spell destruction, 1 Hita. Let's say your opponent uses Ash. You special summon Hita, you special summon Ash from their graveyard, and you can go for other powerful Link monsters that you see here. 1 Charmer, the Darch. So this guy will help you special summon dark monsters from the graveyard if they have powerful dark monsters. We're gonna be running 1 Little Knight, the SP Little Knight, 1 Zelene, 1 Apollousa, one Access Code Talker for not OTK, but to get rid of cards on the field, and finally one Underworld Goddess. You're gonna be having a lot of monsters on the field, and once you go into your turn after your opponent finishes their turn, you should be able to use all these extra deck monsters, as long as you don't activate the FlooWanDeReeZe effects. Because once you do that, your extra deck is gonna be locked, so you're not gonna be able to special summon at all. Alright guys, so this is the FlooWanDeReeZe deck. Let's move on into the gameplay. I do have some cool gameplays that I want to share with you guys, and well, let's move on. Alright guys, so we're gonna start with this gameplay, and I was playing here against a really nice Fire King avatar deck. Is running the Snake Eye engine, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to release this deck, because we got the new Fire King support, and well, you definitely need decks like FlooWanDeReeZe if you want to stand a chance of winning against deck like this. So let's start. If you guys recognize the card, you want to copy it, go ahead. And let's move on into the gameplay. I believe I start first on this one, if I can recall well. Yeah, so yeah, I do start first, and I opened up with Pot of Avalanche Extravagance. With Extravagance and Adventure, I banish the stream to add Ravina. I normal summon Ravina, added the stream back into the hand. Then Ravina searches me the England, normal summon England. My opponent here uses Gamma to negate the England. And I set 3 cards. So now here I go for Macrocosmos, and my opponent is in a tough spot here, because now I'm going to normal summon on his turn, and I'm going to do my plays. So stream will add me back the I believe the England. No, I'm gonna banish the spell so I can add it back to my hand later. So with England, I'll be able to add the Empen. With Empen, I will search the field spell. My opponent uses here the triple tactics to draw. He adds the Poplar to summon the Poplar. He's adding the original Synthos foils, and he gives up. There's little he can do. All the monsters are gonna go banish, and the Fire King engine and the Snake Eyes, they do need the graveyard to resolve and to keep being consistent. Alright guys, so let's move on into the next duel. And the next duel, I was playing here against a T-element deck, and this one here is a really nice combination of the T-elements with Castiros. So if you guys recognize the deck, go ahead and copy it. Let's move on into the duel. Alright. So I believe I start first, if I can recall well. Yeah, I do start first here. Okay, so I open up with an okay hand. So this is where FlooWanDeReeZe and the Unexplored Winds shines. So I was able to recycle and a bad hand as well, but I opened up with Microcosmos and my opponent gives up. I'm telling you, Microcosmos first turn is an instant win because the elements they do need the graveyard, and when you activate Microcosmos on them, that's an instant win. Alright guys, let's move on into the next video. And in this video I was playing against a really nice Dark Magician Horus deck, and it's a really nice combination, as you can see here. I believe I go second on this one, so if you guys recognize the cards, you want to copy this deck, go ahead. It's a really nice combination. He's running 45 cards here, so let's play it. Yeah, I do believe I go second on this one. Yeah, I do. Okay, good. Alright, so I open up with Shifter. I use Shifter. So now all cards are going into the Banishing Zone. He passes because he doesn't want to get rid of his cards. So I'm using Pot of Prosperity. And I happen to have, I think, Ravina. So I added Ravina to the hand, banish Ravina to add the England, summon England, add Ravina back to my hand. Summon Impen, I believe, in this turn. Oh, no, Part of Duality. I think I click by mistake no on the normal summon. So that was why I wasn't able to keep doing the normal summons. But in my opponent's turn, I do the right thing, I believe. And then I started doing my plays. So basically, I'm playing solo here. Summon Emperor. Summon Empen. Added Ego back, and I believe Ravina. Then I added the Field Spell, Summon Token, added the Adventure back, normal Summon England, then Summon for the big boss, Apex Avian, and then I pass. Then my opponent passes. There's nothing he can do. So here I summon Ravina. Summon England, I believe. Added the second England. My opponent finally does a move, so he banishes the Dimensional Shifter in the graveyard, and he summons the Manhunt. He knows I'm going to for the kill, so he needed a way to defend himself. Anyways, here I summon the big boss FlooWanDeReeZe and the Snore, and here I attack with both Stream, Ravina, the boss Empen, and finally Snow, and won the duel. Alright guys, let's move on into the next duel. And I believe I was playing here. Now let's do this one first. So I was playing here against a really nice Resonator deck, 45 cards as well. If you guys recognize the deck, you want to copy it, go ahead and do it. So let's play the replay. So all these replays are a way to show you how to play the deck, so you have an idea how to play it. And FlooWanDeReeZe, if you have all the cards in the extra deck, FlooWanDeReeZe can be a really cheap deck depending on how you make the extra deck. I'm running a lot of ultra rares in the extra deck, so it's gonna be a little bit expensive. But if you guys like the deck, go ahead. So I start with Ravina. I start first here. I added the England back. String, normal summon England. Added the Empen, normal summon String. So you can see this deck is so powerful that it can play even with cards like Max C. So our opponent is gonna do his plays. I negate that with the negate the Resonator. He uses Destinator, and with Empen, the Omni negates. I add an Empen back and negate the Resonator. He passes, and now it's my turn. So I drew double summon, which is good. Added Ravina back. So in case my opponent negates Ravina, I have double summon just in case. You know, and I can continue the normal summoning with the other FlooWanDeReeZe cards. I added the Snore, summoned the big boss Snore. Then here I added back Ravina, and I believe the String. Snore activates to keep normal summoning. Banish cards from his graveyard. Add his token. Sets. And go for the attack. So my opponent is he is in a really tough spot right here. There's barely anything he can do. So he's trying to do his search so he can continue playing, but with Apex Avian, I negated it, and I believe he quits right here. Alright guys, let's move on into the next duel. And here I was playing against a really nice dinosaur deck. And wow, it's a really cool deck. There's a bunch of dinosaurs here. We have the normal Fostosaurus. He's also running reptiles, such as the Ebotao Mageshirela, some crazy name. And then the other dinosaur cards, the baby dinosaurs, the Ground Zeno, Evolution Pale. It's a really nice deck, so if you guys like it, you can go ahead and copy this deck if you recognize the cards. Alright guys, so let's move on into the play. So now I believe I go second if I can recall well. Oh no, I go first here. And I think we do have a really nice duel. We go back and forward. So I start with Extravagance to add cards, to draw cards. I use Duality next. I added the continuous spell, the Adventure. Summon England, added the Empen. Summon the String, banish the Duality. Summon Empen. Added both England and String back to the hand. So this is their effects when they go banish. Then I added the FlooWanDeReeZe field spell. I use Macrocosmos, and my opponent gets rid of it using the Agora. It seems like he did not have a good hand here with Pot of Prosperity. I think I add Ravina. normal summon Ravina, I believe. No, String. Then Ravina. Ravina will add me the token. I summon England, added the Avian, summon Toucan, added the Impen. Then I got rid of one of my opponent's card using the Adventures, the Adventure continuous spell, and also got rid of the second card using Impen for the normal summons. And here I can just keep adding cards and won the duel. Alright guys, so let's move on into the last video. And on this one I was playing against a really cool, I believe that was this one right here, against a really nice Horus Owlex the Tormentor deck. So if you guys recognize the deck, go ahead and copy it. It looks decent, but not strong enough, you know. I guess he wanted to use Obelisk for some reason, but you know, Horus alone, they're really powerful. You can make some crazy boards with them. So let's move on to the play. And I believe I go second on this one. Yeah, I do go second. So now I'm going to normal. No, he starts. I negate the Horus, Glory of Horus, because I don't want him to add the Sarcophagus. He adds a Rainbow with the trap card. I negate the Glory. He adds the Horus, the deity, the big boss. Here he summons Glory. And he thinks I'm running a special summoning deck. No, this deck is way different than what he can imagine. So I added the Macrocosmos. I activated the FlooWanDeReeZe and the Advent of Adventure. He ashes. The spell, and then I summon Ravina. Added the string to the hand, and he gives up. Alright guys, so this is the FlooWanDeReeZe deck that I've been working for not too long. There's barely any combinations that you can make with FlooWanDeReeZe. They pretty much work better by themselves than combining them with other cards. So yeah, this deck is pretty much a shifter deck. You're gonna be using the extra deck and summoning your big boss monsters. Bird, big boss monsters. And yeah, that's pretty much it guys. Stay tuned for more deck profiles. This month I'm releasing another deck profile sometime around the I think the 28th. It's a really special deck that I'm working on, and I think you guys are gonna like it. But I'll probably release it sometime around the 26th, 27th, or the 28th. So stay tuned for that deck profile. And anyways guys, I'm gonna be doing more gameplays of this deck and the other decks that I release, and I'm gonna keep you informed of any news. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.